Avoid these mistakes when setting up your corporation. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. Do me a favor, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go and click the link down below and click the notification link. And I'm going to talk to you today about corporations and mistakes that I see people make all the time setting these up. Okay, first of all, the very basic mistake you want to avoid is the name. Now, when I came up with the name of my corporation, I just put a couple initials together and put Vista behind it. And it was great, it worked, it was available. I know other people that have been doing a DBA, doing business as a corporation, and they don't have the rights to that name. And they go down to file it and they have a problem and they can't open up the bank account, they can't cash checks, and it could be a real mess. I also want to tell you that everything I'm saying on this video, I've seen work and not work, but this is not legal advice. I do advise you to check with an attorney or someone professional before you take this as legal advice. The second one, and going with that, is CPAs and attorneys are really great at helping out with corporations, especially your local CPA. They're going to know if you should do an S Corp, an LLC, what you should do for taxes. Just because you open up a corporation does not mean that it's tax exempt or you're gonna save a ton of taxes. I've seen LLCs save more taxes than S Corps in some circumstances, but then I've seen S Corps save more money in taxes than LLCs. And again, it depends on what type of business you're in. It depends on how much money you're bringing in, how many employees you have, and the list goes on and on and on. And you need to write this list out, take it to your CPA and say, hey, I want to open up a corporation. What would you recommend based on this? He or she's probably gonna ask you a few additional questions that you didn't know about, and then ask them if they have experience in helping set up corporations, and they may be able to help you set it up right there. I know with my CPA, my former one, she not only helped me set up my corporation, she actually changed it from a C Corp to an S Corp, which was huge in the tax savings, in helping me save some more money in taxes and what I was bringing in with revenue. And there's a lot of good attorneys that are out there that will also help you with corporations. Now, just a couple key points here that I see people do with corporations is you can Google help and find places that will help you set up a corporation. Just make sure they're legit. How many reviews do they have? If they have 1 or 2 reviews, I probably would not go with them. If they have 100 reviews and they're a 4.5 star or higher, I would take them pretty seriously. If you want to look at some local corporation experts in your area, I know LegalZoom has a lot of good pointers on corporations. They will take you links directly to certain states and they will help you set it up directly, and they're a pretty reputable company. Like, that's one that I would definitely go with if I was going to set up a corporation. Another common mistake I see is keeping up corporation docs. So you get a corporation, you open it, but you're not keeping up the minutes, you're not keeping up the officers and meetings, which, by the way, I outsource this to a company. They keep up all my meeting notes. If something comes up in the corporation, you've made purchases, expenses, and you're not documenting everything down and you get audited, you could be liable for some things on a tax. If you get sued and your corporation minutes are out of whack, then they can go after you personally. Just because you have a corporation doesn't mean you're protected from any lawsuit that's out there. Now, if you have everything in order and you're doing everything advised, that's different. And again, you really want to talk to a legal expert on that. But if you're not keeping minutes and you're not keeping anything up with the corporation, but you just happen to have the corporation, you're asking for some real trouble right there. The last thing is, and I see people that pay tons of money for this, is an EIN number. You don't have to pay someone hundreds of dollars for an EIN number. All you have to do is you can Google, set up my EIN with the IRS. There's a real simple form. You have to put the articles of your corporation. You will get the articles of your corporation once you set up the corporation, and you file that with the IRS, and then you will get an EIN number. Now, if you don't apply for an EIN number and you start doing business and you're getting business coming in and you don't have an EIN number, you're going to start getting checks, and you're going to go to cash that check and open up a bank account, and you're going to show the banker the articles of corporation. They're going to look at you and say, okay, that's great, but you don't have an EIN number, and without the EIN number, you're not going to be able to open this, and you're not going to be able to open up an account. Now you have a check or you have funds that are coming in and you're not able to cash it. And I've actually seen that happen. I actually had one thing happen with me a while ago when all the banks and everything were switching over. I had a bank that got switched over, and I had a check and I had endorsed it, and I wrote cashed and the date on it, and the bank, the credit union, I had to switch it to another bank, and I had a little bit of a tough time convincing them to cash the check. And they put a hold on it, which was totally fine. But nothing's worse than getting a check and having it be held and not being able to be paid because you haven't set something up correctly, or getting a check and not being able to do anything with it. So you want to make sure you get the name correctly. You want to make sure that your CPA and or attorney or both are involved in this. You want to make sure that you're going through the right company. I like LegalZoom. They're pretty good. They're legit. They're on Google. I have no idea how much they cost. I use another company that's pretty good. If you want to ask me, I'll give them to you. They are a little pricey, but I have a couple corps, and all my corps, they run all my meetings, and they're really good. And the last part is an EIN. Just go to the IRS or Google how to set up my EIN with the IRS. When I did that for this video, the first one that came up was the IRS. When I clicked the link, it was setting up an EIN right with their website. Totally free. I mean, they're going to get paid. They want your tax dollars. They're going to make it as easy as possible. Hey everyone, do me a favor, give me a like if this video was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and click the notification link. I'll see you on the next video.